Then she can pass it on to the bus. I just might cry.
I might cry and throw an epic fit too. So.
Hello.
Hi everyone. So to start things off, just want to kind of, by a quick show of hands, who has ever heard of us? Cool. Who has never heard of us but they're intrigued by the panel name? Sweet.
Dope.
Who has never heard of us, not intrigued by the panel name, and just here to sit down for 45 minutes? I respect you. I respect your honesty. These cameras stop recording automatically after 35 minutes, so about 26 minutes in, just going to stop and hit re-record again so that way we don't miss it. And this will be going up on our channel hopefully next week. So that being said, thank you for coming. This looks like a larger group than last year, which is cool. We're just surprised that anybody is in here and that anybody cares to give us their time. My name is Paul. This is Kat.
I'm Kat. Hi.
Hi. We run a YouTube channel called Comic Trips. We call it the best YouTube channel you've never heard of. Someone gave us that nickname about a year or so ago, and let's just knock that camera off the podium. I think it's way too shaky. We're going to end up screwing this whole thing up as it is anyway. Last year we did our first panel here, and it was a very last minute panel, and it actually ended up doing pretty well. We had a really good time, some good discussions with people. This panel isn't meant to just necessarily be us sitting up here talking to you about what to do on YouTube and everything like that. This is kind of meant to be an open discussion as well, especially towards the end. So any other creators on here, if you have podcasts or YouTubes, anything like that, please feel free. We're going to be doing a lot of chatting a little bit later on. But what we'll get into first real quick is kind of our background, how we got started, and kind of sort of what worked for us over the past 2 years and 4 months, right? March of 15, and last week we just hit 4,000 subscribers, and it's, you know, not a massive number by any means, but we are. But, you know, we took a different approach to many other YouTube channels, and we'll touch on that. So, hi guys. Shame. You're late. Shame. No, seriously, thank you for actually coming. You want to get started? I'm already landing. I'm trying to coach the table here. That whole thing is just gonna go. Yep. Gonna have to pay for the podium and the microphone on our tab. Sorry guys, we're gonna try and not break anything, but if that podium goes
We got a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's gonna look good.
Yeah.
So where do we start?
I guess we can start by saying that this was not going to be a YouTube channel at first.
No, not at all.
I feel like I'm a decent writer. You know, that's one class I did well in. Oh, what now?
Nothing. Okay. Continue, I love you.
That's what I thought. So it was going to start out as a written blog with like photos and like, here's what we enjoyed about the shop and, you know, or the con that we went to, or, you know, estate sale. And then we went to Tate's in Lauderhill, Florida, and it was a 3-hour drive from the middle of Orlando. And so we rented a car on a whim, and we did not kill each other. And we had a lot of like great jokes, and we were like, man, this is like, we're like American pickers right now. Like, think about it. What if we turned the camera on? Like, what could go wrong? Yep. So we picked an event that we saw, like we got a flyer for, and we were like, we're gonna film at this event. So we went in there with our iPhones, like all stealthy, like shit, I hope I'm
You want to get in trouble.
We didn't want to get in trouble.
Why are you filming?
Like Bob from Frankenstein Comics was like, yeah man, film, whatever you gotta do. Like he was so welcoming and open. And then we went to Stormwatch Comics and...
God, it was horrible.
Oh my God, we just...
Who here's seen our very first episode ever?
Oh, it's not good. I'm sorry.
Shudder. It's like, you know,
it's like 4 seconds
it's like a pan across the store, fingers going through the comic books, and then we're in the car, and that's it. It's like, we had no idea what we were doing. Our camera was our iPhone 5 set up on the dashboard, and if you watch our first episode, it falls over like 3 times. We're saying, you know what, just keep it going. And it wasn't supposed to be anything like what it was. We had been dating at the time for about 3 months, and we decided, let's go away to Florida. And then what we had done for like our first 4 or 5 dates at least was our first date, we went to a comic shop, and we bought some stuff, and then we played video games. And then our second date, we went to another comic book shop, and it just kind of became what we were doing. We were bonding over it. So after we made, it was like 210 miles each way from Orlando down to Lauderhill to Tate's, and when we got back and we realized that we didn't hate each other by then, we're like, well, maybe this could be something cool. And then we started out with our, we decided to make the YouTube channel, and then we decided starting out trying to find our branding, which is I think the first thing that we'll touch on.
Yeah.
And I'm a marketing guy, it's what I do for a living. It's my job, social media, websites, marketing. But the names that I tried coming up with for this were awful. It was terrible. I was like, yeah, we'll call it. And then she's like, why don't we just call it Comic Trips? And I was like, I don't know if that'll work or not. And it was stuff like Bargain Bin Bandits or Dollar Bin Bandits. It was like these really long, unnecessary, involved names. And it was bad. And thank goodness, only really the people in here will know now. So don't post about that on the internet, how terrible it was, because I might get fired from my marketing job. That just, it was so far off the cuff of what we actually thought we wanted. We were like, yeah, this is going to be great. And then she just comes in one day with Comic Trips and
boom,
there it is.
You're welcome.
There's a difference between a good idea and a genius, but let's...
I'm genius.
Here we are, 2 years later. We just got married this past November. We are... She hasn't tried killing me in my sleep, so I must be doing a halfway decent job.
He doesn't know.
I'm a heavy sleeper.
I tried.
And, this has gone crazy. We just finished our 7th season of our show, and we're planning our 8th season now to be released sometime later this summer, which we will give you. Unfortunately, we don't have any video to show you for season 8, but we have some info about season 8 at the very end. So let's talk about our branding. How do we start branding things? Well, so our biggest thing that we wanted to start off with was, if you're going to start on YouTube, you want to find a catchy name for yourself to come up with. A lot of people in this world will use, a couple quick key terms, but the first thing you want to do is make sure nobody else has that name, or they have a name that's similar to that. You want to try and have something as unique as possible while someone is also probably doing exactly what you do on the internet. Chances are there's someone out there. There could be someone doing exactly what we do, we just haven't seen it yet. Since we started, we have seen people take their YouTube channels and make it very, very similar to ours, which I guess you could say is kind of a form of flattery, in a sense. It could be a little annoying at first, but it's still a form of flattery if it's an imitation. But for us, the branding, what we wanted to try and do is we didn't even really want to make it necessarily about ourselves. We are the ones who are on camera, we are the ones who are behind the camera, but we kind of wanted to make it more about the community. And if you follow any of our social networks, we're very big on talking back and forth with everybody who gives us the time of day. Because of all the things that you could do on the internet, you decide to give us your attention, so we want to try and go back that. With the branding...
Well, first we soaked up Instagram, Facebook, right, Twitter, and YouTube.
At Comic
Trips. We wanted to keep it completely synchronized across the board, because you don't want someone going to your Instagram but then your Facebook page is a different name, because they're just going to get confused. So as soon as we came up with the name, literally that second, we scooped up all the social media handles that we could, and that's really important because one of my favorite YouTubers is Jenna Marbles, and she's Jenna Marbles across the board. There's no, she has her blog channel too, but it's Jenna Marbles blog, so there's no confusion anywhere. Right. So I think that's that was the biggest thing for us, was oh, okay, right, we have the name, now let's see if we can grab all the social media.
Right, and we did this.
Luckily, it worked.
Unfortunately, comictrips.com was taken at the time, so I contacted the woman who ran comictrips.com, and I said, hey, I have a blah, 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 we're trying to do this, and the website hadn't been used in 5 years, and she came back with, thank you, but no, I'm gonna keep my website and just continue to not use it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But to touch on what she said with the social media, the key that we did first is we created comictrips@gmail, and then we used that email address specifically to sign up for all of the other accounts. So that way, if anything comes over, if you ever need to get in or out or do any type of security features, something gets hacked, someone goes into your stuff and you change the password, everything goes right to comictrips@gmail.com. So if you guys email us, comictrips@gmail.com, it comes in just like all of our social media. And using that one email address as your hub, our website, all of our social media, that's a really nice way to kind of keep things all under one umbrella at first, if that's one tip that we could give. Who else in here has a creator channel, a YouTube channel, and all that sort of stuff? Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Very good.
But also, logos are a big thing. When I think about Philip DeFranco, I think about the monkey. He's got a little monkey logo on his channel. Yeah, that's what I think about. Let's see, who else?
We didn't want, and again, this goes back to, we didn't want everything to just have our faces on it.
Yeah, no.
You get to see our faces, unfortunately, at the beginning, in the middle, and the end of every single episode for sometimes a really long time. We wanted, think about branding. You recognize the Coca-Cola logo. You recognize the Pepsi red, white, and blue. And I don't even think we didn't even do this one until about...
No, we did comic strips.
Yeah, it was all just a type font logo in a comic book font. And then one day we were brainstorming about ideas. All right, well, we're on the road. One of the ideas that we had was one of those mat pins that you drop, and it would have, CT on it and stuff like that. And we kind of just settled on this because it's an interstate highway sign. We travel all the time, and we put the Kirby comic book dots behind it. It all just kind of like, kind of flowed, and here we are. And we've had people send us actually much better versions of what I did, because that's my Photoshop. We've had people send us designs, and they're like, here, we tweaked your logo for you and stuff like that. So you may see this change ever so slightly over the next couple months, but this is what we want to.
We want to evolve it a little bit, but I think the biggest thing with the branding is make sure you scoop up all your social media, get an associated Gmail or Yahoo account so that everything is in one place, and then create a really neat logo. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be great at Photoshop. You can use cool fonts online to create something too. Like, don't get discouraged if you don't know how to use Photoshop, because I don't know anything about Photoshop. But if I had to create a logo, I would just find a cool font, and then.
It's an evolution. Yeah, everything evolves. Like, we didn't even think that we would ever need like a logo.
I also didn't ever think we would upgrade to some camera equipment. I thought we were just going to shoot on our iPhone the whole time. I was upset with that.
I want to say it was the whole first season we did on our iPhones, and then maybe half of our second season before we actually went out to Best Buy, and we got one of those little tiny handy cams. Those of you who followed our channel since the early days, you'll know that that handy cam was actually stolen out of my car at one point right in front of our house, and we lost like 4 or 5 episodes worth of footage. We were we were devastated about that. But what we decided to do is we did it was like a raffle. We did I think it was a raffle for a bunch of stuff. And about, at the time we had a nice little niche of followers, and those people were nice enough to contribute to that raffle and helped us get another camera. Well, that camera that got stolen 6 months later ended up showing up on my doorstep one day.
We actually had moved out of that house.
We had moved out of the house, and we were in the house that we're at now, and the realtor calls, and it turns out I knew the realtor, and her boyfriend found the camera on the doorstep, and they opened it up, and I'm like, I know that guy. I worked with that guy, and she actually called me, and it was covered in dirt and dust, and it looked like someone had it for months. But when our camera got stolen, it was a real big thing on social media. We put it out there, and so many people shared it and got it out there, and it was really awesome. But when we got it,
still have no idea how it ended up back on the porch, but
we have no idea who took it either.
But we went from a handy cam to It
was like a Sony Vixia,
it was a bigger camera, but it wasn't one of these.
A DSLR.
A DSLR. So I have no idea what we're using. So we upgraded to a bigger kind of handheld camera, and then we upgraded to these. But
this and then that.
but yeah, I think the biggest thing too is don't get discouraged if all you have is an iPhone, because I mean, iPhones shoot amazing video now.
Especially newer iPhones.
So don't even feel discouraged about that. But if you have like $300 that you want to throw towards a camera, Best Buy open box sales. We got a brand new camera that was a display. It was like $600, and the guy was like, yeah, it's $250 because it's open. And we were like, oh yeah, we'll take it. So I don't want people to get discouraged because they see these YouTubers like Casey Neistat using $1,000 equipment, and that's cool, but not everyone doesn't have to use that. So my advice is Best Buy open box specials are like just any kind of I guess Circuit City's not a thing anymore, is it?
Certainly not. It hasn't been. That's a throwback. I go to James Way and get one.
Go to the Wiz. Does anyone remember the Wiz? Yes.
And Woolworths.
My dad loved the Wiz. Yeah, but if you go and maybe Sears does open box specials, that's a great way to save money, and you can still get quality equipment. Another great thing is at B&H Photo in New York City, they do refurbishments. So you can buy, a really nice camera, and it's just been refurbed. They've maybe put a few new parts in it, and it's significantly less than if you were to buy the brand new version of it. And so, I mean, I'm all about saving money. So those are my two biggest things is if you were to try, if you want to go and get a nicer camera, definitely.
For me, seeing the back end of it, because I handle the editing and things like that, and you know, sound is also a very big thing. We dealt with sound issues. If you watch a lot of our earlier, we didn't really know how to manage the sound and things like that. I think one of the best things we did is that microphone that's on top of that camera is possibly, it's like the best kept secret in like the vlogger world. It's a $26 camera, or a $26 microphone off of Amazon.
Camera was around $26.
Yeah, I wish the camera was $26. The microphone was $26 off of Amazon. You get the package and you cannot read the instructions. It's all in Japanese. There is no English, but it's very simple. One battery, turn it on.
That battery will last forever too.
Yeah, we'll use that. We'll use one battery. Can you stop shaking it?
Oh, I thought there was an orange light on it. Is that a bad thing?
No. Well, that light is showing directly on it. But that,
freaking out, man.
when you start using DSLR cameras, you'll notice that the native sound of the microphone on there is not good, especially if you need any type of noise canceling or anything like that. We had a Rode Video Mic Go, I think it was like $129, and it was okay. If you're looking to upgrade to a microphone, you want to get a powered microphone because that's going to have more noise cancellation in the back. But that thing for like, depending on where you find it on Amazon, it's between $25 and $27. Best investment we have made out of anything for this channel besides the nicer cameras. And if I had to say any other like tip with anything like that, just be concerned about your lighting. You know, I know a lot of other creators and they struggle with their lighting because they only have either their MacBook or they might have their iPhone and things like that. If I could give one tip about your lighting, just make sure the light isn't behind you. Kind of exactly how it is right here. So, you know, that's not really giving good advice, but when you're filming on a camera, you want the light in front of you because if it's behind you, it's literally going to wash everything out and you're going to look much more pixelated, washed out, and you're just going to look darker as a whole. Those are just, I could probably host 6 panels on learning how to Final Cut and things like that because I've learned most of that since doing this channel. We started out with iMovie and iPhones, and here we are, you know, I've reached the end of capabilities for Final Cut. Like I'm actually struggling because there's more stuff that I want to do in Final Cut, but it doesn't go as far as I want. So now we're looking into getting into Adobe Premiere, After Effects and things like that. It's a progression and it's taken 2 years to go from, you know, watch episode 1 and then go right to episode 70. Like watch, and it's crazy to say that out loud that we've done 70 episodes.
Yeah, that's insane.
But
again, don't get discouraged if like, you know, you're using iMovie and you know you've been watching Philip DeFranco or Casey Neistat or someone and their video quality is just real good. Don't get discouraged because I mean they worked their way up too. Like they started with 1 subscriber. I don't know what you know they started using, but just remember like they didn't start with all that. So I mean I watch Jenna Marbles too, and I'm just like, she is definitely shooting on an iPhone right now.
yeah,
There are some of her videos where I'm like,
a lot of people
Girl
like
has her iPhone.
the Sony A7S and things like that. A lot of people like those cameras. We just like the DSLR for like the depth of field and kind of like the professional look to it.
Also, some of these bigger YouTubers have a team of editors, people that have gone to college for this, so they might not necessarily put it out in the open, but some of the videos might be like professionally edited, so,
Right.
I mean, it doesn't take anything away from me watching it, but just keep that in mind too, is that if you're watching something and you're like, man, why doesn't my stuff look like that? Just tell them.
What happened? Was that my MacBook pop up there?
He was like, yes, it was.
Paul's MacBook.
But you know, don't get discouraged if your editing doesn't come out like cream of the crop because you know they're working with $1,000 equipment and editing services. They might even have a team of editors.
And we have us.
And you know, we're just, hey.
Everything that we do on our channel, all the editing, all the social media, the websites, everything is done between her and I. So yes, while it would be great to someday maybe have a team to do it, we've been able to, you know, kind of throw ourselves into the fire and learn it on our own. And I'm a big proponent of there's no better way to learn something than just
throw yourself in.
To throw yourself in, dive into it.
Throwing yourself in there. Just you know, the first thing you can do on YouTube is sign up. Like just create your channel, make your banner, create a really interesting and like attention-grabbing about me. You know, basically the biggest thing is like just do it. Like you know, don't be like, oh I don't know, maybe I'll do it. I'll do it one day, but like no, just go. Just sign up, start your channel. You might have 1 subscriber for like a couple months. Who cares? Like at least you went out and you did it, and that's the biggest thing, because once you have your channel and it's out there for the world, someone's gonna pick it up and see it. I mean, I thought my mom was gonna watch this.
Yep.
I mean, even then I debated, like, ooh, she's probably not gonna watch that.
And the things that we did as well too, when we first started, we didn't want to be one of those YouTube channels that does, all caps, misleading titles, clickbait titles, the blown out of proportion thumbnails and things like that. Like, oh my God, she said what? And things like we see other YouTubers trying to do that, and their goal is to just be another Casey Neistat or be another McJuggernuggets or someone like that. And there's nothing wrong with the way that they do it, but that's just not our style. So our growth over the past 2.5 years has been more kind of quality over quantity. We don't have 100,000, we don't even have 50,000, we have just over 4, but I can pick out just about every single person, especially in this room, who I've met before, because it's more about the community for us and the people that we interact with on a daily basis. They have recognized our branding, they have recognized that we are out for the community, and it's just helped everybody's community grow. Has anyone in here found a new shop by watching our show?
Boom.
Like, holy cow, I didn't know this place existed 20 minutes away from our house. Well, guess what? The fact that anyone in here raised their hands, it means our mission is accomplished. That's what we're doing. And that is the first concern for us with our channel, is building that community.
You know what else was a big concern for me?
What?
Money. ADSENSE. I could not figure out ADSENSE for the life of me. I mean, I watched maybe like 100 YouTube videos on how the hell do you sign up for ADSENSE. Like, we were putting in our website, we were sending troubleshooting emails back and forth, and then finally we were able to link it to our YouTube channel. But I mean, that was a process and a half. I mean,
put it this way,
it's not easy to use. They're lying.
They are. It's not easy at all.
I don't think I'm like that stupid. And I'm just like, bruh. ADSENSE, what are you doing?
I don't believe so.
I struggled.
Well, our ADSENSE didn't get set up and start actually tabulating everything until 2 years after our channel got set up.
2 years ago.
So for those of you that think you're going to hop on YouTube and you're going to start making money,
It's not good.
do not quit your day job.
Okay, I'll put it into perspective for you. Our ADSENSE was solidified about 3 months ago. We got a check for $143.
So we made $143 off YouTube. Drop the mic. I'm out here. All of you people are beneath me. No.
Yeah, we bought pizza and we paid our water bill.
Yeah, we paid our water bill. We had dinner that night. Like, well, what next? Because YouTube will pay you, and this is a good segue into the ADSENSE portion. YouTube will pay you after a $100 threshold. So you can work up $50, $60, $70, $80, you're not going to get it, but you will not get paid. If it takes you 6 months to get to that $100 threshold, then you're not going to get that $100 until then. And we had actually seen the money that we could have been making on YouTube the whole time, but they will not give you back-end YouTube. Let's say you've been doing YouTube for 5 years, and in that 5 years, you never set up your ADSENSE, and it shows that you would have made $500. When you get that all set up and done, you're not getting that money. You seem like you know what I'm talking about.
I listened to Jeremy Towns about it.
Yeah, and you're not going to get any back money. YouTube will not give you back money towards anything like that. So once it gets set up and started, that's it. You're good, and
that's why link your ADSENSE day one.
Try to.
Also, the biggest thing too is that we got an email that was like, your ADSENSE check is pending. You have to update your tax info. So I was like, okay, let me update my tax info. So we went into their W4 form, and it was like, all right, type in your name. So I typed in the name, social security number, blah, 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 and it was like, denied. And I was like, bro, I did everything you asked of me. I just want my money. And then I realized that under their tax info, it was labeled comic strips as the actual name, for the IRS. And I was like, it just was not allowing me to proceed. And then I realized that if you go into your ADSENSE account and you go into your profile, our profile said that it was owned by comic strips, not owned by a physical person. That's why the IRS kept bouncing it back. So if you sign up for ADSENSE and you get into your tax info, make sure that it's your legal name and not your channel name, because that's, I mean, we waited like 2 weeks to get our money because it was just, the IRS was like, nah, shut it down.
Yeah,
no, who's comic strips? They don't have a social security number.
They're being difficult.
So that was so frustrating to me. It was like,
But now we're rolling, and now we have that. We finally have it set up, and you know, next will come our LLC that we're doing. You know, because this has all been money that we put into it. We haven't really made any money back.
Oh, also with the whole LLC thing is, we had our channel was straight up like ripped off.
Yes.
We found out about it last year. This time we had a girl come up to our booth and she's like, "I'm so excited to meet you. I saw you guys on the San Diego Comic-Con website." And I was like, "I beg your pardon." What?
Like San Diego Comic-Con talked about? How is that?
And then she turns her phone around and is a logo of a YouTube channel called The Comics Trip.
So they took the S and they moved it to comic. Like,
Please tell me.
At least like put some creative input to it. And it was a Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive show hosted by Alan Tudyk.
Dude, K2SO, what are you doing?
I was like, Steve the Pirate stole my brand. How did Steve the Pirate steal my brand? What time?
My brand.
Hold on, I think I gotta reset the camera. Hold on. Interrupt.
Watch the camera.
Oh God.
Make it short, don't worry. Okay, cool. And we're back.
And we're back.
Lightly. Thing is so sketchy.
Suspect.
Anywho, about Steve the Pirate and how he tried stealing my identity.
It actually wasn't him. It was San Diego who created it. But it was like, bruh, just Google us.
See, like,
really?
not even, like, if you look up Comic-Con HQ and then look up Comics Trip, it will pop up. It lasted for like 4 episodes and then it went on.
It was $4.99. You would pay $4.99.
Yeah. And the whole premise was, we take our blah, 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 and we go to different comic book shops and conventions every weekend, and we purchase stuff. And I was like, they literally just, you know how you plagiarize someone in high school when you're trying to write a paper? They're like, all right, let's put comic trips about off their YouTube. Like, wait, no, hunting, let's put searching, that looks good. Let's, they'll never figure this out. And we found out here at this event last year, and it just like broke our hearts. After that, I've seen 2 other entities that legitimately, it's blatant, kind of blatant, where they just sort of, you know, they do their own thing, then you add some particular branding that happens to look very much like yours, and it was...
That was devastating. So we went out and we copyrighted, we got a trademark for
which is
comic trips, because we were like, oh yeah, okay.
We technically just trademarked the name, we didn't trademark that yet, so I'm watching all of you. So hopefully that actual insignia, the interstate sign, will be trademarked as well soon once we get a little bit more funds in and stuff like that. But that's something that you have to actually worry about.
Like, here's the thing, is like we were generally like, yo, San Diego Comic-Con?
Yes.
Us.
Yes.
Down there. How, like, what do we do? Because they got the money, they got the backing, they got the celebrities, like, oh, we're done. But I mean, that's why we were like, okay, we're gonna.
I think that kind of lit a fire under us. Yeah, that lit a fire under us to kind of really like step things up. And,
we had to.
And you'll notice in like when we hit like season 5 last year, at this panel last year we gave a preview of season 5, and that was at that point where we were like, we really need to. So if you watch season 5, season 6, season 7, there's new things in each season, and that show kind of did its own thing and kind of sputtered its way out.
I will tell you though, is that there was one particular show that was just like, if that's us. But you know who hosted it? Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill.
Was he Pop Culture Quest? Yeah. It's a great show.
It's phenomenal. We sat there and we were like, fine, we're gonna watch it. We're just gonna watch it.
We did it out of spite. We were like, man,
and
this
then
is
we
actually a really
we
good
leaned
show.
over to each other and we were like, oh my god, that was actually pretty good.
Because when it got announced and the trailers came out,
We were like, that's us.
people were tagging us on all of our social networks like, this looks eerily familiar to the stuff that you guys do, and yada yada.
We were like, dude, we can't.
We can't fight Luke Skywalker. We're massive Star Wars fans, but
Down.
you have it. That's fine. You're good. You're good. No problem. But it's, you know, and from what we had heard too, and now this is obviously hearsay and not necessarily confirmed, but we heard from people close to the source that the way Mark Hamill's Pop Culture Quest kind of got formulated was they watched other creators and kind of like the nerd world. And
Wait, so are you saying that Mark Hamill knows I exist?
I mean, I think he followed us on Twitter like last year or something. Yeah, actually, yeah. But we were, you know, after we watched the show, we're like, yeah, it's actually a good show. I told you about it.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. I think you even posted on Instagram about it.
No, I didn't. I posted when Jenna Rumples followed me, I think.
So, one of the things that we hear, and we take advice from larger YouTubers all the time because they know what they're doing a little bit better than us, obviously, is that I have friends who come to me who have channels with 100, 200, 300 subscribers, and like, how did you guys get to where you are? One of the best things that I ever see someone talking about who has a ton of subscribers is posting regularly. Posting regularly, posting frequently is one of the best ways for you to keep fresh in people's minds. When we're in between seasons, which can be 2 months sometimes between seasons, just because I need a break from editing for a little bit, but you know, you kind of start to fade out of the mind and you know, the attention of the people there. So if you notice, in between our seasons, we'll have more unboxing videos, and we'll just have, you know, we haven't done a drunk toy review video in a little while, so I think we're due for another one. The piece of my ear that got chopped off in the last one, that did grow back, by the way.
The Spider-Man drone still lives on.
Our Spider-Man drone is still in the gutter on our roof. There are 8 people in here who get that, and it's awesome.
I was so gone.
So gone.
Like, why?
We don't drink a lot, and that's the thing. So when we do, it's for one of these videos, and we take no prisoners. And then for those of you who aren't familiar with it, we will just take a random toy, something like that. Usually it's something that can end up hurting one of us or causing some sort of bodily harm, because that's part of the fun. And we just take it out and we do a full review on it, just chatting about it. Usually I'm the one who gets hit with something, or she almost chops my ear off with a Spider-Man drone before. Posting regularly helps keep your videos and your channels kind of in the algorithm, so to speak, and kind of in the pool of suggested videos over here on the side.
Just to touch on that too, like so there's different ways to go about posting frequently too. You don't have to post every day. I know a lot of people post on schedules, like Jenna Marbles. She posts every Wednesday or Thursday. That's her thing. That's when she posts. You know, we post every Monday, so every Monday, you know, look out for a webisode. But then you also have people like Graveyard Girl. That girl posts every day. She is putting out frequent content. So it's basically up to you and like how much content you want to put out there and how much time you have to dedicate to it. I know YouTube for Graveyard Girl is her job. That's what she does. So she is able to post every single day. But posting frequently and giving yourself like a schedule, like, all right, my subscribers know that my videos will come out at this day, usually around this time. That's what works for us. So we usually stick to Monday mornings. Boom, it's out there, it's in the world.
Like, I actually just this past season I learned about scheduling videos. And so I would be up, you know, I'm up for work at 5:36 on Monday mornings, and I'd be like, man, I gotta stay up till midnight to make sure to hit upload. We started editing them a little quicker, schedule them so that way, you know, everyone, kind of our thing on our channel is, you know, you wake up on a Monday morning and you start your week with us. So it goes live at 12:01 a.m. on Monday morning, so people, no matter how early you get up, you get to hang out with us to start your Monday, you know. And usually by the time I wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, we're seeing our videos now have, you know, 500 plays, which is a lot. In my mind, that's a lot of plays. You know, that's awesome. But there are people who have uploaded a video now, and they probably have more plays on that one video than we have on our entire channel.
That's fine.
And it's fine, but again, for us, it's about the community. It's about the sense of us, you know, hanging out with each other. And one of the biggest things that we did was we didn't brand ourselves in a way where we don't feel that we're special in any way. We don't feel that we are above or better than anyone. Everyone who watches our show and we interact with, we don't like to use the term fans. I think that's really informal and impersonal. We like to use the term friends we haven't met yet. So anybody who we haven't met personally, hi, you're now our friends whether you like it or not. Expect a friend request on Facebook from me later today. That level of connection with the people, such as like Millie, our friend Millie Akers down here.
She's one of our first.
She's legitimately one of the first people to ever come up to us at Wizard World 2015.
BJ.
And BJ.
Year one.
Like year one, ground zero, and you know, we have formed a relationship with these people. You know, they're actually friends of ours. It's awesome. You know, it's not.
Millie was the first one to find out I was engaged. We
really?
Completely did not know she was going to be at Universal that day.
Oh,
and
right.
We see her, and I was like, dude, I just got engaged to. And I was like, no one knows but you. Like, and
who saw the proposal video of what happened in the photos?
Good times.
Well, I had planned to propose for months, and we flew down there and had a ring in my pocket. And it wasn't a big ring, but it was a big box. And I looked at the jeweler when he gave it to me and said, why do you have to give me a box so big? Can I just give me like a plastic bag to put it in or something? So those who know my wonderful, beautiful endearing wife. She's an extremely inquisitive and persistent human being.
I could be a commentator for the WWE.
So we were on our way to Universal Studios, and I had plans to propose to her at the Transformers ride. And that's kind of one of the other big things at the end of our channel, the auto bots roll out. That's why we stuck with that, because it means a lot to us. So we're on the tram from our hotel to the park, and my ring box is on my right-hand side in cargo shorts. Yes, I still wear cargo shorts, and don't make fun of me. I know there's a lot of stuff going on about that. But she sits down next to me, and she feels it, and she starts getting inquisitive. She's like, what's that? And I was like, oh, nothing, that's fine. Let's just see what the wait time is on Harry Potter here. Just take a look. And somehow it actually got her off the subject of it, because usually when she wants, like, hey, what happened with this? Well, you know, no, what happened with this? And I'm just like, it's like the Spanish Inquisition. It's like she just doesn't stop. I somehow got her mind off it. So we walk up over to the Transformers ride and get a picture with Optimus Prime, and I have her brother take a video, and it's completely blown out by sun rays. You can barely see it, but I got down on one knee, and I said, will you roll out with me? Aww. And she forgot to say yes. Stood there like this, and then Optimus Prime leans over, and he's like, say yes. She's just like standing there, just like this, and I'm like, oh God, I've made a huge mistake. Oh my God.
You hear my mom screaming in the back, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's life. What's happening right now?
And again, with us, you know, a lot of people necessarily don't, you know, feel comfortable about sharing certain things about them on the internet. Our thing is this, is that a lot of our relationship has not played out because of this channel, but our relationship has ended up playing out as a result of us being kind of on a public forum. You know, the relationship that you see on our show is our actual relationship, and we get that compliment a lot, is that when people meet us, we're exactly like we are off camera than when we are on. So it's,
yeah, that's the biggest thing to me, because like,
be real. Don't like, hey everybody, I've met people that are like that on their YouTube channel, and I've bought stuff from them, and they're like, what's up? You're not, no, that's not how you do it. Like, why not just be yourself? Because when someone does get to actually meet you, they're going to appreciate the fact that you're an honest and open human being.
Well, yeah, I've met celebrities before where it was like, oh God. They say you shouldn't meet your idols. Well, I've learned that the hard way a few times, and it's like, man, I look up to you, like, why?
Sometimes it's better just not meet your idols.
So I would hate one day if I woke up and I saw a tweet or a Facebook post that was like, oh, I met Kat and she was the total B word. That's right, I'm gonna censor myself. And like, that would just break my heart, because I'm not like that at all. Like, you know, I'll talk to anyone, but like, you just, yeah, even if you're having a bad day, you know, like, I'll just, you can't be mean to anyone. Like, if they're giving you their time to watch your channel, be nice, be personable, like, be friendly. And
since we are running a little bit low on time, our next point was trolls. We're gonna be simple with this. Ignore, block. That's it.
Delete the comments.
Delete the comment.
On YouTube, it allows you to actually delete. But you know what YouTube does? YouTube trolls the trolls. You can go ahead and mute the trolls, where they're commenting on your videos.
And they'll think you see it. It's like a shadow ban on Reddit.
It's a shadow ban. Yeah. Oh yeah, shadow.
So it's kind of a passive-aggressive thing on your end. You know, but like, well, if they see us deleting the comments, they might get angry and start sending more people.
You know, we've had people attack us, like, personally. Somebody made an entire video body shaming me, and I'm like, bruh, it is what it is. Like, this is as good as it's gonna get. So, I mean, I'm sorry, I love me some breadsticks. Like, I'm not giving it up. So, I mean, if you get a troll that says something really nasty, just know on the other end, like, man, that person's so fucking miserable. Ooh. It's fine. It's fine. Just block, delete, move on. Don't even give them the time of day. Like, when I saw that video, I was like, really? Okay. I mean, I'm married, so we're good. Like,
all mine.
I was like, ugh, I got it. I'll lock it down.
That being said, let's stop us talking for a couple minutes. Is there anybody out there that has like either, and we actually have a microphone set up here in the middle, so you can either, if you can speak loud, feel free to shout, but if you don't speak loud, does anyone have like either a question they would like to ask, and then we'll get to some other people like chatting about their YouTube? Yes.
I have a YouTube channel. I wanted to know how like the adpocalypse affected you guys.
It did not.
It did not. No.
Because we don't actually make money. And this is actually a great point. Is that if you watch our show, all of our curse words are bleeped out.
Yeah.
We don't do violence. And one of the things that people say is that they will watch it with our kids, and the only reason they do is because whenever, not we, when she swears, we do the honk, and then we put that symbol over it.
I'm literally JV's. I'm sorry.
Right. So while in a sense it can be mature content, all that adpocalypse stuff was affecting was non-advertiser friendly. So violence, sexual content,
some of the
profanity, and the pranks and things like that.
Also, like the video, like if we have a video that uses a popular song, we just demonetize it. We don't even try because otherwise we'll get the strike. And 3 strikes on YouTube, if you get 3 copyright strikes, you're done. They shut your channel down. You're not getting it back. So even if we use a 30-second sound bit of like a video or a song.
Her singing in the car once got a video hit with like demonetization because she sang.
I thought it got flagged for graphic content.
No, she was singing some Broadway musical in the car and it got hit. And it was like, she was singing and the music could barely be heard and it still got hit with a copyright thing. So we're like, yeah, we're just gonna, so we now use the audio library within YouTube, which by the way, if you need royalty-free music, there's anything you can think of, all types of genres.
But yeah, no, the adpocalypse really didn't affect us, but I saw it, like, people were...
the art community, and it got hit real bad.
Yeah,
yes.
The violence. Advertisers just say, it's got blood. No, shut that.
BJ, were you gonna stand up and say something?
Yeah, I'm gonna come over here.
BJ, literally like one of the first human beings to ever like come up and hang out with us when we were first here.
Yeah. So I was wondering about the South Jersey Geek Fest from the fall of last year, since I know you were making videos for that. Was there any plans of making that a webisode? Because I think you missed that one.
Oh, this past fall. So we have done, I want to say 2 to 3 episodes on South Jersey Geek Fest. For the one that we were at, like we're shooting an episode for here today. So when season 8 comes out, you guys will see you and some of this, but the full video is going to go on our channel next week, and then when the episode comes out, I'll go to the link in the description. When we do a certain event, say like Wizard World, we don't film an episode every time because we don't necessarily want repetitive content. We're doing an episode here because the last time we did an episode of Wizard World, it was 2 years ago. And our channel was...
Yeah, things have changed.
We think we're a lot better now. So, yeah, no, we did not film an episode there, but it was one of the best days that we ever had raising money for the animal shelter comic books.
I'm saying the fall one, not the spring one.
Correct.
I missed the spring one.
Yeah, no, the fall one, we just decided to go there and promote. Thank you for that. Anybody? Sir?
So, like, as a person who's going into the commentary scene, I know this demonetization really affects this part of me too.
Right.
Do you feel like the ADSENSE, the people pulling out from YouTube advertising, has affected your pay then?
I would personally have to say no, just personally because we're on a much smaller scale, but I definitely think so many big people, like, Philip DeFranco setting up a Patreon and stuff like that, where he has like 16,000 contributors in his first day. Right. We have 60 on our Patreon, and it helps us immensely. I would say that on a counterpoint to that, more so it's making the advertisers think about pulling out first, because now they're losing their bang for their buck with the higher people. If Casey Neistat, Philip DeFranco, people like that, they're all pulling out.
Because I know David Cullen, his pay is gone down to 70 cents a week.
Yeah, it's crazy. People have lost 70, 80% of their revenue, and that's our thing, is we're nowhere even close to that.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to rely on YouTube ever. I don't want that to be my solid job. I went to nursing school, so I have a plan A. Plan B is maybe like making comfortable money on YouTube, but I would say, especially with the way that this is all going with the adpocalypse and stuff and the demonetization, I would say don't plan on getting famous off YouTube, because you don't know how long it's going to last.
Don't go into YouTube with that thought.
With that thought in your mind, because I know Jenna Marbles, like that's what, and Graveyard Girl, that's what they do. Like they get paid to do that, but it's not going to last forever, and like that scares me. Because when they're 50, 60 years old, is YouTube still going to be a thing? I'm sure there'll be something else, and they'll already have a following for it. But don't go into YouTube thinking like, oh, I'm gonna make bank.
Yeah. Good.
Just a follow-up question. Do you think YouTube is trying to screw over their content creators?
I think they have a few rules that are a little because I think, what is it now, like 1,000 subscribers you need before you start making money?
It's 10,000 channel plays before you can start money.
10,000 channel plays?
What I personally feel, I think that YouTube just never thought there was going to be so many content creators, and I just don't think that they can handle anything. I don't think that they could possibly have enough people to go over and accurately flag and review every single. I don't think that that's possible, because think about how many people are making it. I think that's, I don't think they're intentionally trying to screw. I just don't think they really ever realized what it was going to turn into. This is personal opinion.
I think we saw a question.
Metro. Yeah, you could just shout if you want. It's,
I gotta say it on the
yeah, that's a nice camera you got there.
Thanks. T3 eyes, my baby.
Fair enough.
One YouTuber to another. Where'd you get that tripod?
Amazon, it's $11. It's from a brand called Bontend. I will give you the name of it.
Thank you. And
Yes.
I've
the same one Casey
and I've been doing
ADSENSE.
YouTube for like 7 years myself. I've
Cool.
been, like, doing
What's your channel?
Darth Boy. It's pretty. I would not advise any kids to watch it because
Okay.
I say a lot of curse words and it's very controversial and ranty.
Luckily, I'm the only actual child in here, so we're good.
But I completely agree with what you were saying about don't expect to get famous off of YouTube. You can't go into that mindset. You just gotta accept the fact that you won't get famous. I've been doing this for 7 years.
Cool.
The way I
Thank
see
you,
it,
actually.
it's like it's like Russian roulette.
Right.
You know, it's like you gotta get lucky
Yep.
to get your channel known. You just gotta be like, you may lose your passion at first, but keep the passion going, make the videos you want to make, like you guys are doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I just want to make sure we're not going to impede on anyone else's time. What time is the next panel starting here?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? Okay.
Okay, cool. She has a question.
Yes, let's do a few more.
So she has a question.
Because last year I know we ran over. We're like, we don't want to impede on anyone's time.
Hi, I have 2 YouTube channels, and one I just started because I'm trying to like separate stuff out. And something I've been trying for a while is to build a community to like have people comment, be able to like respond to each other. I was just wondering, what are some ways you do that besides, I understand like you come to places in person and meet people through that, but what are some ways for your videos and online that you try to engage your audience?
I try to be as transparent as possible. I talk about struggling with chronic migraine. I struggled with addiction for a while. Like, I try to put it out there and try to be relatable. You know, I didn't finish college in 4 years. I mean, I'm nowhere near finished either. You know, I struggle with money and stuff like that. So I try to be as personal as possible so that if someone wants to talk to me, they don't feel intimidated, like, oh, well, her life is perfect. Like, no, it's not. Come talk to me, like, you know, that's the biggest way for us, I feel like, is that we really, like, we put some of our problems out there, but it's like, hey man, if you're having a bad day, come talk to us, you know, whether it be about your life or it be a question about YouTube. You know, that's the biggest way that we draw people into is like, I don't ever want to put myself up there. I want other people to feel like you can talk to us, you can communicate with us, like, show me what comic books you got today, kind of stuff like that. So I
Calls
feel
to
like,
action.
Calls to action. And then also, we do a lot of charity work. At our table, we do dollar books for the animal shelter. So 100% of that money goes to buy supplies for the animal shelter. And even if, you know, you're not necessarily there to buy a comic, like, that's also a way to talk to people because, I mean, shelter animals are, I mean,
We have 3.
we have 3 of them. So that's another way to kind of be relatable. I think you should just put yourself out there. I mean, you know, you don't have to talk about everything. Did I have to talk about, you know, struggling with addiction? No, because it's kind of embarrassing. But other people have come up to me in the past and said, I struggled too, and I had no idea. I didn't, you know, I want to just talk. So I feel like, yeah, just be personal. You know, don't
Be personal, be relatable, be approachable. Just, you know, we may be up here and you guys may be down here, but we are all the same.
We're all
There are a lot of YouTube creators that for some reason when they get a little scotia of people liking them, they start like expecting, you know, people send us stuff for free and I got this sponsor, you know, and I think the big key to it is just remaining as relatable, as approachable, and humble as possible. Because that's the way if we ever change from that, everyone in this room call us out because we don't plan on it. No matter where this goes, if we do another 30 seasons, or if, God forbid, something happens and it ends tomorrow, we want to stay that same way.
I just want to ask you a real quick question. When you do have videos, I have a YouTube channel as well. When you
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
It's called the Tough Channel, TUFF, Tough Channel.
The Tough Channel. You guys all hear that?
Thank you. We do movie reviews and movie debates and stuff like that. And on the movie review side, we have someone who watches old movies in their DVD collection and then rewatches them and sees if they're still watchable. And when we do that, we put up clips from those movies at times. And we've really struggled to find a way that we can do clips where the owners of the copyright owners won't come in and zing our videos.
Right.
That's a weird road to go down. It's tough because there's the Fair Use Act.
Right.
But it's so skewed and it's so like it's an interesting thing to read because you're like.
So what did you do? What did you do when you sang and it got hit?
Like demonetized.
Just demonetizing. You gotta chalk it up as a loss.
So you took it out.
We didn't take it out. You can
Oh.
keep the video up. You can keep up videos that have copyrighted material in them, but you cannot make money off of them. So we kept it up, but we demonetized it. I know when I was singing In Sync in the car, we didn't even try. We were like, Chris Kirkpatrick's gonna come after us, man. Demonetize. Actually, he watched it and he was like, that was amazing.
A tip that I can give though is that if you have a certain style of music, use a creator audio library. If you gotta throw some music in there, try and find something of a similar genre.
Yeah, but like with movie clips and stuff, message them. Message the people that you're actually using their clips and see. Because, I mean, you never know, that person might message you back. I mean, I know that we got the okay from Chris Kirkpatrick to use In Sync music because we talked to him and he was like, that's fine. So, I mean, you can go that route. I mean, just, you never know. Shoot them a message, see what they say, be like, you know, I want to use X seconds of your clip. Is that okay? Because I know if they say it's okay, you have to list it in your description bar too. Where it came from, who produced it, what year, stuff like that. You have to give them all the facts. So.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do one more real quick.
I didn't have to come up here, but this is more fun. I just started setting up a podcast and YouTube with my friend, and our YouTube we want to use to really like go to, we're a history podcast. And so we want to use our YouTube to like go to like historic places and stuff. So like what would be some good either equipment for when traveling and filming, or tips and tricks that you've learned from doing it, or anything like that?
We just got the Polaroid Cube.
Polaroid Cube, they call it the GoPro Killer. It's a $99 little cube that shoots 1440p video and it has Wi-Fi on it. The sound, though, is abysmal. So the best tip that I can give you for that is if you're going to use that for video, use your iPhone's voice memo recorder to use a scratch track for audio, and then swap out the audio from that. Be prepared to break something, and don't let it break your heart, that will happen.
Or scratch it or something.
Be prepared to lose some footage, that will happen. I'm famous for that. And don't ever settle for, you know, we have this and that's it. You're always going to want to continue upgrading. Just push through. Just
if you're going to like historical stuff too, and maybe you're in a smaller environment and stuff like that, don't get like a full DSLR like that. Get like a point and shoot, like something small where you can just kind of keep it on you, real, you know, close and tight, so you're not being like invasive. Because I know sometimes with the history stuff, they're like, they see a camera and they're like, oh no, you need a media badge for that. I would just get something small and just kind of hold it close so you're not being very invasive, and you know, just ask them ahead of time. We always call ahead to a shop and we're like, is it okay if we film here? We've definitely gotten no a few times, so don't get discouraged if they say no. But I would we're very non-invasive, so we don't really like get in your face, and I would stay small and like close to the body, because you know you also don't want to annoy anyone. So that would be. I think I saw one more question and I want to get in.
We actually are doing our own YouTube channel too. We've been going for about a year now. The only thing we don't have is a website. Do you think that's really worth it? Like all you do is kind of post videos. So.
It depends on who you're trying to reach. People outside of our age bracket still use .com websites. From the 20 to 35, we're not really big website people. It can hurt because guess what? If you don't reserve it, someone could come along.
Also, if you start to get merch and stuff like that, website, you're going to need it.
We are going to let the next panel take over. Just to give everyone a quick thing, we are going to start season 8 of our show. It's going to look like the second or third Monday of this coming July. So keep your ears and eyes peeled. For everybody working, thank you for putting up with us. We're getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for coming and hang out with us. We're at group 1008 all weekend, and we have business cards up here if you want to actually remember our channel name. Thank you guys very much.
Second, sorry.